Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh, our Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign. I am Stella Luna. I will be your DM and host for today. Before we jump in, I just want to give a shout out to our Patreons. Without your support, one-shots that we run, the marathons that we do on this channel would not be possible, so thank you so much. You can see some of our lovely patrons here, right here on this screen. If you're interested for more information about what you can get for being a Patreon, you can check out that link there in the chat for all of the benefits. We also have a brand new YouTube. You can check out our YouTube with that link there as well. All of our Season 1 Unbound episodes are on there, and we are starting to upload our Secrets of Saltmarsh, this game right here, onto YouTube, and also Season 2 of Unbound. If you want to interact with this game, there's a couple of different ways you can do so. You can redeem channel points or 100 bits to grant a blessing to the player of your choice, and that is also including me. Or if you would like to add an element of fate to the narrative, you can spend $10 to draw. Hold on. Don't worry about that one. To draw from the deck of many things to change the narrative, add an element of fate, and please make sure you let us know which player you would like to either doom or bless.
But I want the table of contents card. Can I have
that? Oh no, that's the avatar of death.
Oh, I don't want that. Never.
The avatar of death with stats. Sure you don't want that one?
Very positive. Very positive.
Okay. All right. Just let me know if you change your mind. Whip that guy out right anytime. All right.
No.
Let's just jump right into it. Please tell us who you are, where we can find you, and who you're playing today. And you know what? We're going to start off with Zombie today.
Okay, fine. Be that way. Hi, I am Jacob. I am Zombie. I am Z. I am whatever you'd like to call me. I do occasionally stream on here. I did do a bit of a birthday stream a week ago today. Technical issues, what it was still fun to kind of see a lot of people kind of join in and come in, and that really was what made my day, was just all the love and support from everyone. That was nice. Other than that, you could usually find me either on Stella's channel, Robo's channel, stuff like that. I don't know if some of you may or may not know, I tend to do like maybe a boatload of clips, so probably way too many, but it's just my thing. And then today I'm playing Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher who has had his dealings with the undead sort of thing, of necromancy and such, and he's done a lot of research on it, but he's trying to find, and he feels like there's this great evil out there. Something is controlling this evil that is plaguing this town, maybe a secret of sorts. And so we're going to be going around, and yeah, he's just trying to find what possibly is going wrong with this whole thing.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have Godfather Wraith.
Hi, I'm Godfather Wraith. Godfather Wraith V_ESG. You can call me Godfather Wraith, Tim, pretty much anything you want as long as it's not late for work. I'm playing Garen. He is a former Royal Military Scout, and he retired and is now an adventurer. He's kind of trying to find his own way and might be going down a darker path. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hey, I'm GeekDice. You can find me here every other Wednesday. You also find me every Sunday over at Greyhawk Tales. We're also playing a Greyhawk game. Today, once again, I am playing KayBee. He's a Finadiri, aka a Fae, a tiny little man, a farmer, a crafter, a grandfather, and now possibly an adventurer. He is following this group of heroes and trying to discover what it means to be a hero.
Excellent. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, I'm pretty sure like the main anime protagonist of everything that's going on, because you keep picking up like the cursed stuff. We have
I'm trying to collect them all.
Yeah, like Pokemon. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, I'm Emma Panada, also known as Emma, also known as Arlen in this game. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Emma Panada. We just started running some TTRPG campaigns on my Twitch. On Tuesdays, we have a Curse of Strahd game that we're playing, run by my good friend and friend of the channel, Matihi. And then we have episode 1 of a Kids on Bikes game run by me that will be starting this Sunday. And then also, I'm starting up an Avatar The Last Airbender TTRPG campaign using the Avatar Legends Quick Start that is currently being kickstarted. So if you haven't looked at that campaign at all, I highly recommend it. It's going to be really cool, and they have a quick start available for free if you want to check it out. And I'm just going to use that to run a campaign. So if you're interested in playing in an Avatar campaign on stream, just reach out and let me know, because I'm still recruiting people for it. But yes, as I mentioned, I'm playing Arlen. She is a Triton cleric, and she's just, like a very knowledgeable, experienced adventurer, and she's helping all these young adventurers and just teaching them the ways of adventuring because she knows so much, all that stuff.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And last session, we ended up back at the Wicker Goat after we had made our way through the majority of the haunted house. About 3 to 4 miles away from Saltmarsh, we were able to determine that there was in fact no ghost haunting the haunted house, but there were some other darker things going on there. Primarily, there had been a group of smugglers, of which you have obtained quite a few goods, and you managed to row back all the way to Saltmarsh with. And the other thing that you had discovered as well was there was an alchemist suspended by some form of dark magic. Defeated, put to final rest, you also found a number of different treasures which you split with the party. Could you remind me who obtained the Lux Stone?
I think that one was me.
Okay.
Yes, that one was me.
Okay. So if you ever fidget with the Lux Stone, you find that it is very smooth. It resembles almost like a river pebble, and it seems to have iridescent colors in it as the longer that you've been holding on to it. It has a cool sort of sensation to it. It doesn't warm in your hand, and it feels comfortable. It feels magical. And as the party makes their way back into Saltmarsh, I have a few questions. And we're going to handle this in sort of like a montage way. We have off-screen already melted off all of the items, and we've distributed the gold and all of that. But before all of that happens, narratively, I would like all of you to tell me, how exactly do you want to get rid of all these things that you've acquired? You've acquired a number of bolts of silk, very, very fine, and I believe some whiskey or rum in barrels. Big, mighty drums filled with liquid gold. There are a number of... Okay.
Can we see if our friend, the lady who sent us to that manor to clear it out, would be interested in any of these fine silks or whiskey or other things, since she's a tavern owner and a fairly wealthy one at that?
Yes.
I think Garen might be able to make contact with the less reputable buyers if needed. But he's hesitant to do so because he's, well, we've all built quite the reputation linked to the guard. So it might be harder for us to sell down there, but he can try if needed.
Or do we open a stall? Sell?
Well, we're adventurers. I don't think we really want to be spending our time sitting around trying to sell things in the market. We just need to offload it somewhere with someone and let them take care of it, and then we go off and find more.
Suppose, yeah. So
Or perhaps we let somebody sell it for us and they keep a cut.
that's good. I mean, I want to get as much value as we can with all the stuff that we have, but you know.
Yeah.
Garen, could I get a history check from you?
Oh, yeah. That's something I have a lot of points in.
Okay. With an 18, very nice. So especially since you're going down this line of thinking, you do know that there is a possibility where if you want to go to Hannah, the owner of the snapping line, it will be pretty easy to assume that you've dealt with what has gone on in the haunted house. You would essentially be completing that quest and handing over these goods, right?
Mm.
If you wanted to do something else with the quest, if you wanted to go to a different leader and give them that opportunity, that leverage, you could use this to your advantage somehow. It's all a matter of who do you want to tell the secret of the haunted house.
Yeah, I think. You know, it stands to reason that we could go back to Hannah and she could sell all of this for us. But at the same time, if we were to go to another leader and tell them about what happened, that may gain us reputation.
Well, not to diminish that idea, but we were promised quite a hefty sum of money from Hannah for doing this. I mean,
True.
a gem worth, what was it, 5,000 gold? Unless
But
one of the other leaders wants to offer that much, then
Yeah.
I'd say
that
it
was-
still goes to Hannah.
That was
Um,
that was so much. 5,000. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, you never know how rich people are, but given that this is a smaller town, I'm not sure that people would be willing to spend that much money if they didn't already know what was going on.
yes, however, didn't you say she was trying to say that she solved the haunting to gain influence to become a council member?
Yeah, well, that
So-
was the deal we struck, but
Right.
I mean,
But if
I
we go
don't need
to-
our names spread throughout the town anymore than they already are. People know we're
at
capable.
this, yes, but at the same time, we are trying to make contact with Anders Solmor, correct? And that would make it easier for us to contact him, a member of the council.
Mhm.
Whereas
Hannah
somebody
did
who's
seem-
trying-
Nice lady.
Can I get history checks from everyone?
I mean,
That's
we
an
already
8,
have
okay.
an introduction with Anders, don't we?
No, we didn't.
We just need to wait for a time to approach him.
So, Arlen, exactly, precisely. You do remember that Weinar Cedarvine from the lamp company that had joined you and brought you to Saltmarsh. Weinar said that she was a friend of Anders, that she would essentially get you an introduction with him.
So we already have our foot in the door there. And
It's
if
true.
Hannah does get into the council, we can just use her to make whatever connections we need to make.
That is true. We would have dirt on her even.
Well, what dirt do we have, really? I mean,
Her
she just
lying.
cleared out a bandits camp with our help. Is that a bad thing?
Well, my understanding is that she was claiming she did it, not our help. But I wasn't there when you spoke with her.
Yeah, no, the real recollection for that was, yeah, she was more or less like, she'll take the credit for the stuff that we've done, but something about being able to keep us in mind, or knowing that next time she needs something done, she can come to us, something like that. But there was a lot of, we're in the background, and she did it. And I do
Right.
remember that quite. Yeah.
And thus the fact that we know the truth would be leverage and is not a bad thing.
I think at this point, you have stashed your boat full of ill-gotten gains, or this is kind of gray-gotten gains here.
Yeah.
And you make your way towards the wicker goat. And as you go up into the 3rd floor, where Jem and Hamas, the bandit that you had spared, they're currently holed up, and you can see that Hamas is being very respectful, and Jem lets you know that they did not try to escape at all, and that they were waiting for you. As you approach, Jem will slowly fade off into the background. We see Hamas digging into a bowl of soup, and they begin to waggle their spoon towards you as you enter. Good, I've been thinking about a couple of things. I want to strike a deal with you. If you release me, I will give you some more information that I just remembered.
What kind of information?
Yes.
See, and as they like gesticulate wildly, little drops of soup go flying around. See, Sambalay is only one part of a larger picture.
And you know who Sanbalay was working with?
I don't know who, but I do know that. Just slip.
I grab a spoon,
Well-
I wipe it off, and I put it back in his hand.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we would load up a boat in the cave, take it to a ship known as the Sea Ghost. There was a particular way that Sambalay would communicate with the ship. They would know to meet on the coast. And I believe that they pause, realizing that they might be revealing too much, and they sit back and cross their arms.
Oh, this is great. I think that means you're going to be a good guy too. You can be a good guy with us.
Possibly, yeah.
Well,
Not sure
what?
I trust him completely.
Yeah.
No.
What exactly would you do if we let you go?
And they're like,
I mean, it wouldn't make sense to let you go and then we go attack the ship, or we run across some other bandits and there you are again.
they tap their chin with the spoon. I would leave Saltmarsh, go far, far away. As I said before, Sambalay and all of their crew, if they were to find out that I delivered all this information to you, my life would be forfeit.
Well, Sanbalay is dead, so you don't really have to worry about him.
Yeah, we took
Really?
care of him.
But there are more of them.
But you could get a
And-
reward for being a hero.
What-
And then you could go away.
What good is a reward if I'm in jail? You know that Eleander is not going to let me walk.
This is true. And by the way, Garen is still wearing that coat he got from Sandalay's chest.
So here's the thing. Once you go off, leave Waterdeep, and find refuge somewhere else, I just want to be sure that you're not going to go back to a life of crime.
They look thoughtful. Well, if you let me leave and you give me 50 gold, then I will not have to resort to nefarious means to support myself. I can try to find a legitimate job. I wouldn't have to do these things to feed myself, turn to crime, assault people on the road, you know. I would swear.
Have you ever thought of going into a literary career?
What would I write about?
Well, and she starts digging around in her back. Sometimes things just write themselves, and she's going to toss the poetry book towards him.
Yeah, you
Oh.
see him like struggle. He grabs it. He opens up the book of erotic poetry written by Sambalay, who was their former boss, and you see just rosy cheeks. Slams it shut. Oh.
Make quite a lot of money publishing erotic poetry.
You know what? This, and just tucks it into their coat. This'll work. Yes, that's good. This is good. I could do something with this.
Of course. Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but allow us to speak amongst ourselves about what we think is right for your future. But
Of course, take your time. And they spin the spoon around in their hand, and they begin to slurp very loudly. And they relax.
I think we're just gonna go like right outside the room or something.
Mm-hmm. KayBee, as you move to follow the group, please tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so the group gathers out of earshot.
What do you all think? I mean, I know I did a lot of talking there, but I don't think it's right for someone to pull the trigger on a plan without talking to the rest of the party.
Oh, I agree.
I do agree, and you usually do a lot of talking, so
Yeah.
I do talk a lot, yeah.
It's a good talk.
Mm-hmm.
yes. I don't trust him.
Neither do I. No.
Did he already tell us everything?
I mean, Arlen, didn't you grab a book that seemed kind of weird, but might have, or something that talked about a lantern?
Yes.
Hmm.
So Arlen, you dig through your bag and you pull out a naval almanac listing tide times, the area of the coast around Saltmarsh, about 100 miles of coastline. And scribbled by hand in the cover, you see a number of lines. The first line has a long dash, short, short, short. Second line has short, long, short, long. The last one has long, long, long.
Oh, it's a puzzle.
I'm not very good at puzzles.
Let me see if I can figure it out.
Or maybe it's a form of communication.
So I bring out my carpenter square, and I'm using geometric math to analyze the puzzle. I don't know
Okay,
if I can decipher this.
sure. Go and give me a roll.
What kind of roll would you like?
With your tools. 22, very nice.
3 inches.
You
Oh,
analyze this.
wrong answer.
It is not 3 inches. That is not the answer. However, you definitely get the sense, yes, this is a method of communication, especially in tandem with the lantern.
Aha.
You don't know what they mean. You don't have a key. These are 3 different phrases.
I shared that. And translated, I don't know. But it's messages. I don't know. Is he really a bad guy? Do you think he killed anybody?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Then really, what's the right thing to do?
I'm not entirely sure that he's the worst. I mean, he's been cooperative. He didn't hurt Jem when she was alone with him.
True.
Yeah.
And
True.
he's got a
But
book full of porn poetry that he can make money off of, so he won't have to return to a life of crime.
no,
You know,
well,
One could also say that we are a little different than him. We killed his friends and took what they had.
no.
So,
There's that. I don't. It's. Well, I mean, like, the outcome of them hurting Jem would have not been good would not have been good for them. So
Well, of course,
they had all the
yes.
incentive in the world not to hurt Jem, especially if they want to live. So I don't know if them not hurting Jem is proof they're not bad. If that makes any sense.
just proof that they are capable of making rational decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's good for the people here. I know where I come from. It's like you don't like hurt them if they do something bad. You send them away, exile. So I don't know if he hurts somebody here, then shouldn't the people here decide?
Thing is, his fate is pretty much already guaranteed. He's admittedly a brigand, or at least a smuggler. And whatever the punishment he gets from the guard, his surviving mates are likely to kill him.
Stella, could I ask a question?
Yes.
Would Arlen know in small towns in Greyhawk, are executions for criminals a thing?
We will say that in general, that executions are considered kind of barbaric. Public executions would only be for like really massive, awful things. So they're not commonplace.
Yeah. And Garen doesn't think an execution would be what the guards do.
Likely, all of you would know just from being general citizens that this person would just rot away in a prison cell.
And that's if his the other people that work for the Friends of Sandblade don't see him dead. But there is a potential he could leave and not get back into crime, as he says. And that's Garen's hang up.
Yeah.
I just know that. Oh, go for it, Finn.
No, I'm on that fence too. Like I want to believe that maybe it was a wake up call, us coming in, barging in, and we chose to not kill him. So, you know, maybe he could look at that as, well, I've been given a second chance here. You know.
Well, I just
don't
don't know how comfortable I am giving someone over to a guard when I know that they're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison, when I don't know that what they're doing was too evil or monstrous.
Yeah.
Well, what would your mama say we should do with him? I don't know. It doesn't feel right to let him go. I don't think that could be my decision. But you're heroes, so be quiet.
Well, I mean, we appreciate your input still too, KayBee. So.
Could I get a religion check from Arlen?
I would love to give you a religion check.
Okay.
Can I use my Lux Stone to get that 16?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So Arlen, as you're considering this impasse, another option comes to mind. Perhaps if this person were to devote himself to one of the churches here, you do remember hearing about a church to Procan being somewhere present in Saltmarsh. It could perhaps join that clergy, or there is also a grove of a druid. You remember hearing that Barley the dog was healed by a druid.
What if, and this is a bit of a crazier idea, but what if we got him to commit himself to a church? And then he could publish pornographic poetry under a pen name.
I've known some really interesting clergy men in my time, and women. Well, why not?
I mean, I suppose.
Looks like Finn is struggling.
Yeah. The idea of the two mixed together puzzles me a bit, although I'm not the most religious of the lot. I mean, yeah, I'm.
The night draws on. You feel like you have to make a decision now.
Really?
I say, give him to a church or let him go. That's my vote.
All right.
But if I'm outvoted, that's totally fine.
But if maybe if he confesses to, he needs to confess.
I'm okay with a church.
Finn?
Oh, jerks. You know what? Let's just. I say yeah. Let's see if we can convince him to go to a church, or at least can tell us everything that they've done. Because if maybe they're willing to admit that they've done all this wrong and kind of cleanse themselves, maybe they'll be okay to be let go. I'm not.
Okay. So I'll say that the group approaches Hamas and you open a dialogue with him. And he tells you quite upfront that, yeah, I've punched a few people, I've broken a few teeth and noses, absolutely. I might have killed someone, but they did mug me in an alley, and I found them a week later, I shivved them in the back. They were a roguish type as well. I did try to attack you when you came into my boss's lair. Was I going to kill you? Probably. But, I mean, it felt like a pretty much a you versus me kind of thing. And, well, for this church idea, I suppose is better than rotting in a cell. I absolutely don't want that. I can repent if that's the price.
Do they appear sincere?
Go ahead and roll insight check. Anybody can roll this. 21 from KayBee. That is an 8 from Garen, 8 from Arlen, and a 7 from Finn. So everyone, you get the sense like maybe you don't really know this person very well. KayBee, you absolutely get the sense that they are being honest here. It's pretty clear that being honest here is the best option for them.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, B. I mean, you usually see the good in everybody. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think. Can you say Procan?
Okay.
Yeah, I turn to Arlen. Procan.
All right. What's Procan the god of?
Yes. So you, especially you, would know that Procan is the god of travel and sea. Notes. God of seas, salt, sea weather, and navigation. This holy symbol is a gold and coral trident through a cresting wave, known as the Storm Lord, sender of storms, roar of the ocean, eye of the tempest. There is a temple here in Saltmarsh. Find it all the way up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take him over there.
Oh. I mean, if everything seems sincere, everything's good, and I mean, it honestly probably would be a lot better to be in a church than probably in a jail cell. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm good with
Okay.
it.
Sweet.
So the group, you escort Hamas there, and you speak with the main clergyman of the temple. He introduces himself as Welgar Brinehanded. He is a one-legged former whaler. He appears to be an older man, and he speaks much of the sea. He doesn't seem very moved or particularly interested with your story here. Well, all right. I could always use an extra hand or two. I suppose, yeah, we'll take him in, offer some sanctuary, put him to work. Some good, honest work, but I'm not paying you anything.
That's fine. I'm sure he can make his own coin doing something else. She kind of like winks at him.
Moss winks at you. And as the group kind of like turns to leave, he stops you. And he says, "The last thing that I know," Stella scrolls through notes. Where did it go? Where are you? Okay. He says, putting a hand on Arlen's shoulder, "The last thing is that we were running a number of weapons. And I don't really know the details, but I believe they were for a clan of lizard folk living near Saltmarsh. Their queen, the name starts with an O, I don't remember, is starting to prepare for a battle. They have a terrible enemy, the Sahagin. I don't think Saltmarsh knows anything about this war that's going to be coming. And I think it might be dangerous if you tell people."
But war is always bad. Why not tell anybody? We got to tell everybody.
Oh, give this information to the wrong people, they might do very, very bad things. I would advise to be careful.
So the lizard folk fighting the Sahagin, and what about regular people?
Oh, the lizard folk are people, and their war is not Saltmarsh's war. If you
What
mention
is-
it here, it might bring Saltmarsh into the war.
That's good. That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah. If it won't affect Saltmarsh, then let them have their war.
Or maybe they need help.
They were buying weapons from us, and there will be no more weapons now.
And
Unless someone else took up that role.
And where's it coming? Before you're talking, it was coming. Stuff's coming on a boat?
Oh, I mean, we would bring the goods to the cave where, you Sabalay. There was a boat. I don't know where it is now. I don't know the particulars on how they would bring the boat around. I'm sure you can figure it out. Claps Erlen on the shoulder. Leans back. I bid you good day. And good luck.
You as well.
Erlen, it seems like something's missing. I mean, part of the story, maybe.
And he turns and he begins to sing, I touched her bricks, ba, 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 as he makes his way into the Temple of Procan. And then we're going to go ahead and say that the screen kind of fades to black as you make your way back towards the Wicker Goat. And you do have to make a decision on what you want to do with the goods that you've acquired. So now you do have some additional information. But you've pretty much disrupted only half of a larger operation. There's a larger boat somewhere. You have a tool for communication. You have some words of that communication, which you don't particularly know what they mean. This information could be very useful to the right person.
I think what you guys are saying about approaching Hannah has more merit. She may know this light language that they use to communicate.
Would she though? She's not like a boat captain or smuggler, right?
Well, her family owns one of the largest fishing operations here.
Right?
So she might know something.
Yeah. If nothing else, she may know somebody that can help us with that.
You do know that you have a lot of Saltmarsh not explored. There may be options around if you ask.
Finn, do you have any ideas?
Well, I mean, we could ask around. I mean, what would it hurt? I mean, I think at this point we're at least known by some people, or at least have smatterings of, oh, these adventures. Have you heard of these people? So that would be my idea would be to maybe go around and try and find some information.
We can do that. Any ideas?
Oh,
There is that wizard's tower on the bridge, or whatever that is. That seems interesting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's probably where I would go, to be honest. But because I haven't had enough fun with people with doing wizard magic already, so.
As the group makes their way to the bridge, you approach Sharkfin's bridge, where there was an epitaph engraved saying that a wizard once defeated a stupid curse here and rid this bridge of a curse. You do see that there are a number of dates scribbled on there as well, indicating that this person has long passed. As you're standing there, a bright-eyed young woman, she wanders up, puts her hands on her hips, and she says, "You look like you're looking for something. What can I help you with? You look like the sort that's from out of town."
Yes, we were looking for a wizard.
"A wizard? Oh. Why are you looking for a wizard?"
We're looking for, sort of, I guess, information over what's been happening lately, especially with that that I guess haunted house that it had been talked about. We kind of looked at it, and
Oh, you went to the haunted house.
we did. Indeed, we did. I think we can all carefully say that it may not be as haunted anymore as it once was.
Oh, you slew the ghost.
I would say so.
Fantastic.
Kind of
Oh,
hard to slice something that's, already dead.
oh,
True.
yes. Okay, I can see why you want to go speak to the wizard now.
Yes.
The magic things are beyond me, but she
Mhm.
wheels around and she points south. That's not south. Where's the compass? She points west. She says, "You'll be wanting to find Kelidek.
Hmm.
Kelidek is the wizard here in Saltmarsh. Kelidek the Unspoken. He is a reserved sort of folk. Very, very busy. A close associate of Galen Primewater. Over 7 feet tall. Powerful. If you wish to speak of ghosts, I'm sure he will give you exactly what you need."
All right. Thank you. Is there anything else anybody else wants? I mean, I think we've kind
And
of got an idea.
my apologies for their rudeness, but I'm Arlen. This is Finn,
Sorry about that,
KayBee,
yes.
and Garen. What was your name?
My name is... Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is... Elia.
Elia. That is a
Elia. Oh.
beautiful name. Thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Cheers. Cheerio. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Hip,
And
hip.
she wanders away.
Bad about that. I'm sorry, Arlen.
You're learning. It's all right.
Sometimes it's okay to leave things less formal and not give your name, but this time it might be isn't innocent enough that we can do so.
Yeah, true. All right. So, Wizard's place then?
You do see that it is getting quite dark in Saltmarsh now. You had spent a good portion of the day out towards the haunted house and you made your way back. It's the same day.
Oh.
Wizards tend to be up late, right?
I mean, but are we going to want to? I mean,
I don't know, Finn. I think you could do with a good night's rest.
yeah, I think so too. Remembering now that I haven't had a good night's rest.
Absolutely. So as the group retires to the Wicker Goat, we're going to go ahead and say that this is when KayBee went out into the market and you peddled a few goods. And when KayBee comes back, KayBee's not alone. In tow, KayBee has a Kenku, person that appears to be humanoid and resembles a raven. They are wounded, leaking blood.
Oh,
Quick. Sit down here. Excuse me, make space for my friend.
With a very hard thump, they fall down into a cushioned seat, the upper floor of the Wicker Goat. You hear a pained grunt from them as they peel some of their leather armor aside, and you see a gaping wound.
Oh, that looks like that hurts.
Finn, go get Arlen.
Arlen! And he runs to go off to go find Arlen.
And Garen's gonna try to do some medicine before she gets here too.
Yeah, absolutely. With a 21,
Yes.
for sure, you are absolutely able to triage and bandage and clean the wound. You make pretty good work of it. You manage to stop the bleeding from gushing.
Yeah,
Th-
but
this
his
is my
skill's
f-
not good enough.
This is my friend Quick. They knew Mrs. KayBee.
Oh,
Mm,
Have you seen my wife?
Quick lowers his head and he sets a big, dark, beady eye on you, KayBee, and gives a small nod. Very slow.
Yeah, I don't press them right now. That could be an interesting story for later. So I think we try to tend to their wounds and make them comfortable. Get them some soup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully-
So, go ahead, I'm
hopefully
sorry.
Arlen, I said hopefully Arlen has some other way to ensure he doesn't die, unless my healing check was good enough to...
Your medicine was definitely enough to stabilize them.
Okay.
They're very weak and tired. So, KayBee, are you offering your bed to Quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Quick is an old friend, probably somebody I haven't seen in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I definitely want to make them comfortable.
Yeah, you close the door, letting Quick have the room to himself, and you can see you can definitely hear the long, deep draws of someone falling asleep. KayBee, as you go over your gear, you realize that this kerfuffle of trying to break up the fight and save Quick, something in your bag has broken. You have drawn the
Uh-oh.
Talons card.
Uh-oh.
You must immediately destroy a magic item, which also includes potions. So if you have a potion, you can do that instead.
I got no magic items.
Okay.
I think other than loaded dice.
I think
I don't know if there's
those were
magic.
magical. Okay.
Those were not.
Okay. So nothing happens.
Okay.
Find some trash in your bag and you throw it away.
oh
Y-
no.
You didn't know it was magical, and so you're not going to miss it.
Yeah. See.
All right. The night is drawing to a close. Is there anything that anyone wants to do or say?
Just mine. I think for Finn, it'd just be his normal nightlies and trying to get in bed pretty okay as he can, considering that he basically escaped death twice in one day, and he's just ready to lay down and reflect a little bit on what he's done, and just take his amulet, and he'll go, I don't know if I'll ever learn, but I hope one day I do. I'm really sorry, and gives it a kiss, and then puts it right on, I guess a normal spot on the table wherever he would put it, since he's by a bed. That's all he would do.
Yeah, I think Garen would probably just call it a night also.
Okay.
I think KayBee is going to worry about his friend, and then maybe in a quiet moment during the evening, he's going to find out something about his wife, who he hasn't seen in many years.
Okay.
I think Arlen, this is probably where the scene happens that happened last time with my sword, and it's saying that it has some friends that want to help Arlen and she should connect with them, network, like all that stuff.
Yeah, you had drawn the rogue card last time. Where's that good old fella?
Which means
There
I
he
have a
is.
bunch of friends. That's what that card means.
Yeah. An NPC begins to work against you. So Arlen, you go to bed that night knowing that you are not alone. You are not the first apprentice of the Blood Blade, and you certainly won't be the last. So as the group of you rouse the next morning, you find Quick has exited out of your room and is in the main lobby upstairs, that private lobby that you have. They seem to be cleaning their gear. They look a lot better, but they move stiffly. They don't seem to be battle ready, but they are conscious and more or less fine.
Quick, if you need any money, let me know. Any gear, just anything. But you might be okay to hang with my friends. I'll talk to them. Maybe they can use more adventurers. You know, we'll check it out. Don't worry. Just relax. Take it easy.
Quick stops where they were polishing one of their swords and turns to you, gives a slow nod, and extends the hilt out in a gesture, more or less saying, "You have my blade." And then they resume cleaning the blade. This entire time, no one has heard Quick say a single word.
Yeah, and when Quick extends his blade like that to indicate that they're providing me their service, it makes me kind of blush a little bit. And I kind of look around embarrassed.
See a small twinkle in Quick's eye. Does anyone head downstairs?
Sure, I will.
Okay. Arlen, as you go downstairs and you approach the bar, perhaps to get some breakfast, perhaps get a fresh bowl of water, you see someone interesting. You spot a halfling. They are wearing some deep-colored robes and are wielding a large, gnarled wooden staff. You see that there are a number of leaves entwining around this staff. They seem to have sticks and flowers growing out of their hair. They seem to be a druid. They are without shoots. They are looking around frantically, and upon seeing you descend the stairs, they begin to approach you. Haste.
Oh, hi, are you the druid?
Hello, my name is Ferrin Castellar.
Nice to meet you. I'm Arlen.
Arlen, I had heard of you. There are people here talking about you and your generosity.
Yes, you seem a tad bit panicked. Are you okay?
I bring terrible news. I have scouts that scour the edge of the Dreadwood to the northeast. There are reports of dark creatures stirring and making their way towards Saltmarsh.
Do you know what kind of creatures they are?
I do not. But I was hoping to find adventurers, or perhaps you. And so it seems I have found the latter.
Well, you have come to the right place. I've dealt with these sorts of things quite often, and I have a few apprentices that I'm showing the ropes. So I'd be happy to get them and take care of this for you if you could just give me a little bit more detail, or someone else I can speak to track down where exactly we should be going.
They scratch their head. Well, you have a map.
I do. Right?
Right?
We have a map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You unfurl it, you flatten it on one of the tables, and Farron crawls up onto a stool, looms over the table, and with a dirty finger, smudging the map a little bit as they trace it, they gesture over the path between the Dreadwood and Saltmarsh. I do believe that this is the direction that they're coming. It'll be about 3 days before they reach Saltmarsh, if that is their intended direction. If you wish to intercept, I imagine it'll be around this area. They draw a little circle. This is a clearing within the wild. It is your best shot.
All right. Looking at him, Do they seem to be giving me the full story, or are they hiding anything?
Go ahead and roll me Inception. I mean,
Inception.
Inception.
I fall asleep.
Insight 15. Yeah. It really seems like this person's being forthcoming. They obviously are very concerned about this and have actively sought you out.
All right. Do you happen to know, or have you heard anything about how many of them there are?
I believe it'll be 3 humanoids. I think it's you have to realize that my scouts are animals. So sometimes the reports aren't quite accurate. They just know if it's dangerous.
Yes, I've worked with many animals before as well. Well, I can gather up my apprentices and we'll get this sorted. There's no need to worry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you need me, I'll be in my grove.
All right, and where is that?
They point over here. Oh, you can't miss it. You go follow the Kingfisher River. You'll find me.
Oh, that's right near town. Perfect.
Thank you.
Well, yes, if I have any more questions or we need anything else, I'll be sure to come find you. And if not, I'll come find you once it's finished and let you know what happened.
Thank you. Oh, and you see them exhale and relief just washes over them. They begin to waddle out of the wicker goat, and you see as the door opens, there is an enormous frog waiting. And he hops on the back of the frog, and the giant frog hops away.
I didn't know this guy was Naruto.
I'm loving the frog mount.
I should have asked for one of those as a reward. Oh well. She's totally forgotten about breakfast at this point, and we'll go back upstairs to talk to the others and let them know what she just learned.
Okay. So Arlen returns and says that there is a report of 3 dangerous creatures heading towards Saltmarsh. It'll be about 3 days before they get here.
Yeah, Garen is being extra OCD about caring for his gear. They were just on salt water. You know what that can do to your gear? So, but yeah, he's listening as he's oiling his leathers.
A call to heroes.
Yes, a frog mount. It was incredible.
I'd only heard of those. Those are fantastic. All right.
I want one.
Take away.
Yeah, Garen's fixating on the frog mount, not the monsters.
Yes, I mean, I've seen snake mounts and slug mounts, but I've never actually seen a frog mount before.
I don't know if I'd want a slug mount. That sounds pretty slow.
Slow and a bit messy, honestly.
Oh, yeah, all that goo.
Yeah.
To each his own, but frog mount sounds fun.
It does. Sounds like a hopping good time.
All right.
All right, well, do we want to perhaps talk to, what's her name, Hannah, to Hannah, and then perhaps get ready for whatever this is?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So the group of you make your way through Saltmarsh. It is raining today. You find that the ground in places where the cobblestone is broken, it is muddy, it sucks at your boots, and it is quite sloshy. It is uncomfortable, it is oppressive. You can hear the sounds of the docks, people shouting, bells, equipment being moved around. It all seems muffled with the sound of the rain. And when you make your way over to the snapping line, you cross over Sharkfin Bridge, and you find yourselves in a tavern. Find that the snapping line is mostly empty, and Hannah seems to be mopping at the floors.
Arlen nudges Finn.
Oh, hi, hello.
Oh, hello. Please don't get any more mud in here. Stay by the door. I'll be right with you.
Okay, we'll do.
She leans the mop up against the wall, and she takes her apron. She dries her hands and maneuvers over towards you. Good morning. What can I do for you?
Well, I look over at Arlen and it's like, we were here about what happened, what we were told this morning, right?
No, we're here about the other stuff.
Oh, the selling stuff. Yes, I'm sorry. My sometimes some mornings when I wake up, especially on a dreary day like this, my brain's a little out there.
One moment. She turns. She goes over to her bar. You hear clinking and something sloshing. She comes back. She holds out a flagon to you. There you go. Perfect way to start your day.
Wasn't Hannah your contact about the haunted house?
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you. And he goes and drinks it.
So, like, as you're bringing it up, it smells like seafood.
Okay.
You still drink it?
Yeah.
Okay. You realize that it's wine. This must be the claw wine.
Oh.
It is unusual. Arlen fucking loved it. It was great.
Is that
Made
more
out
of
of
that-
lobster.
Is that more of that lobster wine?
I
Yes.
guess so, yeah.
Did you want one as well?
Oh, yes, that'd be perfect. Thank you.
Well, all right. You might as well just come in. And as she's walking away, going back to the bar, she looks over her shoulder. She's like, "So what was this about?"
Oh, well, so we went to the haunted house. Turns out, it wasn't so much haunted with ghosts as it was haunted with necromancy.
Oh. I see. Slosh, 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 slosh. And then she moves over and very carefully sets it in front of Arlen. I see. Necromancy. Please give me all of the details. Every bit. Do not spare a single board of that house.
Necromancy and brigands, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yes, brigands as well, yes.
So,
And-
is there anything that you want to hold back from Hannah? I'm going to assume that whatever you don't hold back, you are just going to tell her about.
Right.
Like, do you tell her about Hamas? Do you tell her about the extra boat? About the goods you took?
I suppose there could be like maybe a little bit of time before we showed up, as we were walking here. And I guess I'll ask the group. I'll be like, "Is there anything you really don't want to say?" I assume we sent whoever to the church. If we do say something about that, we do. We don't, I guess, because they're in their church or whatever. But I know that we let one person sort of go. Friend was sort of watching them, and they kind of ran off.
Yeah, the guy that was tied up upstairs.
Yeah, so Ned, you have no idea where Ned
Yeah,
went.
Ned, yes. Yeah.
And Friend has not been back. Fred is gone.
Yeah.
And
Friend.
I'd say we hold back I can't remember the name of the guy we took prisoner.
Hamas and then
yes.
Ned.
Okay, so we hold off on Hamas, and then but we're good with Ned. We're good telling. Okay, well then I guess. Okay, fast forward to where we are now in current time. I'll talk about everything but Hamas.
Okay. Person named Ned. escaped.
Yeah.
I don't... I'll have to keep near an eye out. Sounds quite suspicious. Why wouldn't they stick around for... Well, I suppose haunted and afraid.
I mean, I want to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, considering they were tied. I mean, when we found him, like I said, he was tied up, gagged in his undergarments.
Yes, yes.
Just so, I mean, he could have just been like, "This is my chance to be free," and ran. But I don't know. It was a little bit of.
He was a nice guy.
He did sound like a nice guy, yeah. But,
All right, well, if you say so, then very well. Thank you so much for this information. Do you also tell her about the rum and the silk?
Sure. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Yeah, so she sits down with you at this point and she looks very thoughtful. All right, well, I suppose I can take them off your hands for you. And she takes out a piece of parchment and she begins to do some math. You definitely get the sense that she is very good with business. She includes tax and levies and somehow knows the market rate for these things. And she says, all right, this is how much I will give you. And we had already mechanically figured out the price for all of this. And all of you do get the sense that this is a fair trade. And it is slightly in your favor.
Oh. Sounds very generous of you.
Yeah, so just go ahead and have them bring it around to the loading side of the building, and I'll make sure that you get your gold.
All right, yeah, sure.
Thank you for this. I will bring all this information to the council. It'll probably be about 5 days before I can make an appointment with them.
Okay.
And we'll see what goes on from there. When I become councilwoman, I will remember my friends that brought me there. Thank you
Mission
for this.
accomplished. We did the mission, right, Arlen?
Yes. And I seem to remember something about payment.
Oh, yes.
Should we square that away
course.
now?
Of course. And you see her pull off this ring. She holds it vaguely out towards the group.
Oh, nice ring.
For a job well done. Thank you.
So if no one reaches for it right away, Garen would take it.
Yeah,
and-
I'll, I'll let Garen grab it.
Go ahead and add Hannah's ring to your inventory.
Or do we just add it to the loot tracker?
Yeah, or there, that's fine.
Mhm.
All right, well, I have to finish getting the shop ready for the day.
Okay.
If I have any more work for you, I'll keep you in mind. If you've got to keep yourselves busy, I'm sure there's plenty of work to be found throughout.
Oh, yes, but
Indeed.
it's good to know that we're starting to make some sort of positive headway with somebody.
And you know, in the future, if you were quite lucky that rum and silk is something that I'm interested in.
Mhm.
But in your future endeavors, if you do need to move some things, you might consider reaching out to the faithful quartermasters of Ayuz. They
Mhm.
have a shop set up here in Saltmarsh.
Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
you can sell a great number of things to them. They purchase in bulk, and they also peddle magical items.
fascinating. All right, yes. So, yes, and then Finn will write it down, write down the name of the thing. And... Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yes.
Yep. Very well. Have a nice day. Unless you want some breakfast, but it will not be on the house. I do have bills to pay.
Oh, that's quite understandable.
Understandable.
I think we're good. Yes. If anyone wants to just, I'm good.
All right. Farewell.
Well, might have one question for you, Hannah.
Of course.
Might you know how to get in touch with some people that are, I don't know how to put this, less reputable, or might be able to acquire less noteworthy items?
You can see her trying to visibly insight check you. Go ahead and roll me deception. We don't necessarily have to like play this as you're being deceptive. Let's see how much of you she can read.
Right.
Okay, a 4.
Hmm.
She looks you up and down and she says, "You know, you should be really careful who you ask that sort of question. I don't really try to associate with those sort of folk here. I try to keep my business above board, especially since I'm going to be a councilwoman.
True, but I trust you.
If you are looking to associate with such people, you might want to try the empty net."
The empty net. Thank you.
She heads over towards the window and she points and she says, "You'll find it on the other side of the river."
Yes. All right. Yes, I trust you, is why I was willing to ask you, and even as a councilwoman, it's a good idea to keep your ears open of all avenues.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. I just wash my hands of them myself.
Understandable, and well, it may also be a good idea for us to keep an eye on them. Not necessarily to consort, but be aware.
Fair enough. And as I was speaking of the quartermasters, they're actually across the street.
Convenient.
Indeed.
Goodbye, she kicks you out. Now you are standing in the rain.
Oh,
Rain in the mud again.
yay. I suppose we should go to the quartermaster then?
Well, I mean, we've brought everything to her. She's already paid us for it.
Oh,
Unless-
yes, yeah. Well, it's right there then, I guess.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll keep that in mind for next time, Mom.
Put it in my notes.
Do you all want to? I mean, we don't have to, but before we leave town to deal with these creatures that are heading this way, didn't know that there were any peddlers of magical items in Saltmarsh. I'd be interested to see what they have, especially now that we have a little bit more coin.
Well, we did have the one person, didn't we, in town that we could shop at? Did they have magical items? I know that we bought Molotov cocktails from them.
You made the cocktails.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, we made
Yeah.
them.
I've never used them.
We haven't used them yet. But
You didn't buy the cocktails, you made
bought-
them.
well, we bought the bottles from her, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was more of like small goods. So like literally jars and forks and they
Okay.
bought the crappy, what was it, crossbows? But
Yeah,
they didn't
sure.
have like anything fancy for sale.
Well, I mean, there might be more shops down that way, so that's the best I could think of. Is probably in that same general area. Maybe there was.
So, a group of you know that you have a couple of days. So this is essentially downtime. If you wanted to explore Saltmarsh, that is absolutely something that you could do. You can follow up the lead of Anders Solmor, trying to associate with him. Garen, you remember that you were vaguely told to cozy up with him from Eleander.
Well, I was told by 2 people that I should make contact with him, so he's probably going to do that.
So there's a couple of things here. The group is not in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'd say Garen's got a lot of things he wants to do.
All right, you
Yeah.
know what? I think this is actually a good time for us to take a break. Since we
Okay.
have a couple of different things, we can even split the party if we want to.
Mhm.
It'll be pretty safe because you are in Saltmarsh, and it's not like you're gonna get jumped or anything. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. So if you've been with us, please do a stretch, grab some water, grab a snack, and we will be back here real shortly. We're back. And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. All right. So it is a brand new day in Saltmarsh. It is raining currently. You have completed your task and received a reward from Hannah Wrist. What would you like to do now?
I think KayBee and Arlen are going to go shopping.
Okay.
To the place named after the guy with the name that you're not supposed to say. The place of Iooz.
Okay.
Voldemort.
Voldemort. Yeah. So KayBee and Arlen are going to be heading over towards number 7, Faithful Quartermasters. What are Finn and Garen going to be doing?
Yeah, Garen is probably either going to see Wern to make give him an introduction with Anders, or might go approach Anders if she's unable to.
Okay,
Just
absolutely.
introduce himself.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll follow Arlen and KayBee first. So as you make your way towards the Faithful Quartermasters of Iooz, you head into the building. You can see that it appears to be repurposed. Perhaps it was once a shop of some kind. But now it seems to be a sort of outpost. As you wander in, you can see that it is quite busy. There are a number of other adventurer type looking people in there as well. And there's a line. You get in line?
Yeah.
About 45 minutes pass before you approach the front counter. And there you see a woman. She is a tiefling, and she has brilliant scarlet skin. She has black hair that is tightly pulled into a braid, and she has glowing golden eyes. As you approach, she says, "Welcome. My name is Captain Zendros of the Faithful Quartermasters of Iooz. Do you have an account with us, or are you opening a new one?"
I suppose we're opening a new one.
Very well. You see a large tome in front of her. She grabs a handful of pages and flips to a new page. And she says, "Can I get your names, please?"
Kissimmee Bright Bloom. Also, KayBee.
Very well. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Did you want your own account, or is this going to be one of a shared kind?
Arlen.
Shared, I suppose.
Very well. What is your name?
My name is Arlen.
Right. Writes it down. Then as they set the quill down, they say, "So, it'll be 50 gold to retain my services. The way this works is I will send out word of what kind of items you are looking for. And I will speak with my contacts. They will search for your item, bring it here, and it will be given to you. You'll have to purchase it on arrival. 50
Oh,
gold
so you
for my
don't-
service."
You don't have just magical items that you're selling out and about?
I do have a few items. However, we can definitely search for whatever you might specifically be looking for. If you ever have anything for sale, you are absolutely welcome to bring it here. We will be as fair as we can with the asking price.
And do you buy things that are not magic?
In bulk, yes. We do purchase supplies that we send back to the realm of Iooz.
What about things of great value? Like, and she'll grab the ring. This, for instance.
She takes it. She sets it down. She begins to cast a spell. This will take about 10 minutes.
That's fine. I suppose I can tell you the things that we're looking for then. We need some health potions, as well as a powerful magical bow.
A magical bow. We do have health potions here in the shop.
That's perfect then. Then I suppose a magical bow, and was there anything else that we needed, KayBee?
A bow. I'm trying to remember what Finn said.
Yeah,
did
so
Finn tell me?
I imagine all of you would have talked about this. Were there any magic items that Garen or Finn would have requested them to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, they already asked about the bow for Garen.
Okay.
I can't think of anything that I'd want.
Well, does Finn want a magical weapon?
Um,
That'd come in handy.
I suppose. Yeah, I guess you could just say that Finn is looking for some kind of magical melee style weapon. I mean, he's got
What-
his.
What kind of weapon do you prefer? Baseball bat?
I already have a great club that's already a baseball bat, isn't it? I guess something more. I'll just say I'll let you guys use your best judgment on it, because I have a hand axe and I have a great club, so I'll just be like, here's what I have. Something magical around the melee range would be sort of nice.
And we need magical melee weapon as well.
All right. I can absolutely do that. So she will reach down under the counter and begin to set some things onto the table. Okay. She has 2 potions of healing. She has a saddle. You see that this saddle is made of dark leather, and it has these silver threads embroidered along the rim of it, and they almost look like chains as they go all the way around the saddle here. It has a soft blue glow to it.
How big is the saddle?
As you're looking at it, KayBee, Captain Zendros puts her hand on it and she says, "It is magical and it will shrink and grow to the size of its rider and the mount."
I need a saddle. Not today, though. What does it do?
I cannot guarantee that it will be here the next time you return.
I know, right?
This particular item, once you put it on a steed, cannot be dismounted against your will. If you're conscious, and an enemy tries to attack you, you will find that you are more elusive than normal.
That's nice. No, thank you.
Attack rolls against the mount have disadvantage.
Okay.
300 gold. Are you sure?
Not yet.
None of us really ride a horse, so
Oh, it does not have to be a horse.
Soon. Not yet.
Very well. Well, the potions are 50 gold each.
I'll take one of those, please.
how many potions were there?
3?
And okay,
I can afford
so I'll
one.
give her 50 gold for her retainer fee or whatever for
Okay.
searching for that stuff.
Okay, very good.
And I'll give 50 for our first potion of healing.
Okay, Arlen, taking notes. 50 gold for a retainer. KayBee bought 1 healing potion. So that's 50 gold for you as well.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think we would want to get probably order a weapon for Quick, whatever they use.
Okay.
Hopefully a standard weapon like a longsword or something like that.
Yeah, they use short swords.
Yeah, short sword. So we have to figure out how we're going to pay for it before we actually order anything. Otherwise, it could be a problem.
Yeah, she would be pretty upfront with the costs of everything. Essentially, I don't know what this can look like. There you go. If it's common, it's 75 gold. 300 uncommon. Rare, 2,500. Very rare, 25,000. Legendary, 50,000.
Cool.
There's nothing
So,
else.
Has she made an offer on that ring?
Oh, right. By the time that you have finished those transactions, her identify spell goes off and she has a closer look at this ring. She says, fascinating. Well, there is nothing magical about it, and I do appraise it to be worth about 200 gold. She holds it back out to you.
Take it back. I look at Erlen.
Didn't. So was the lady just wrong, Hannah, about the value of the ring?
You can absolutely insight check Captain if you want.
I'm absolutely doing that.
With a 9 from KayBee. And a 13.
Okay, this is a new day, so I'm gonna use my Lux Stone to get
Okay.
the 21.
Absolutely. Okay, with a 21, Arlen, you definitely get the sense that this person is just straight business and is not pulling your leg. They have a reputation to uphold. There is a long line of customers behind you. It seems that would be very, very unwise of this person to try to swindle you here.
Well, I suppose we'll go and get a second opinion.
Very well.
But thank you for your time.
See you again.
Bye. Step out of line, and the massive line shifts forward just a little bit. And the screen fades to black. And we follow Garen and Finn as you are walking through Saltmarsh. You are seeking audience with Anne. Scroll.
Yes. Possibly through Winnar, if possible.
Okay. Yeah, so you find Winnar in the market. She is currently perusing a number of different things. You see that she's holding a small necklace. It seems to have a glass pendant on it. Even though it is raining, there are still people milling about in the streets. She doesn't seem to notice you or hear you as you're closing the distance.
Winnar, how are you?
Ah, Garen, it is very good to see you again. I am fine. How are you? Hello, Finn.
Hello.
Good to see you as well. We've had a couple of odd jobs here and there, but I'm wondering, or I was wanting to take you up on your offer to introduce us to Anders.
Oh, very good. Yes, your reputation is beginning to precede you. I'm hearing your names circulating the rumor mill.
Are they good or bad?
Very good. You seem to
Good.
be very generous when it comes to drink.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Our friend Arlen is quite a gracious drink buyer.
You should be very careful. Well,
Mm.
come with me. I will bring you to Anders myself.
Right. It was a pleasure to see you again.
It is. What have you been doing? And we'll kind of like montage. Do you tell her about like the haunted house and all of that?
Yeah.
Do you give all of the details?
No, I think we'd probably hold back a little bit, like Hamas again. save that little tidbit if we ever need it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, honestly, we haven't had that much beyond just the buying of a lot of drinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you keep it light. You don't really go too deep into the details, and she doesn't seem
Yeah.
to want to pry either. She's just mostly curious, and you begin to make your way east. And you head up towards a rather lovely building. This building has high walls all around it. It is manicured. You can see that even in the dreary rain, it is colorful and it is well kept. And as you approach the iron gate, the guards posted there look to the group of you and seem to recognize Winnar. They give a little nod and they let you in. As you enter, you can see that inside this complex there are a number of different buildings. The very largest one is clearly a mansion. There seem to be 3 smaller buildings surrounding it that perhaps house servants or employees. You can see that there is a storage barn to the side. You see that there are some guards patrolling the area. They do not seem to be wearing the sigil of Saltmarsh or the king. They're instead unmarked, and you get the sense that they are house guards. As you are led to the mansion, you enter into a very well-decorated home. Find that the main lobby is empty, and it has marbled floors. There are a number of art pieces hung on the walls, a number of statues, vases filled with lush flowers. This person has quite a bit of wealth, but it is empty. After some time, you can hear the footfalls of someone approaching, quite hastily. And you see...
I also want to mention that Garen was very careful about cleaning off his boots before they came in the door.
Oh, yeah, and Finn'll, obviously, if he could find, like, I don't know, a doormat or what, but, like, just because he...
Honestly, they probably have boot scrubbers
Absolutely.
attached nearby.
Okay, sure, then he'd use one of those.
Okay, yeah. You see a tall, lean man. He is tan. He has short, silvered hair, and he is well-dressed. He approaches, and as he does, Winnar steps forward. He bends a little to speak into her ear, and then she turns to face towards you. This is Garen Wave Chaser. He's the butler. Close friend of Anders. I will leave you in his charge. I hope to see you again soon.
Same with you.
Agreed. Take good care of yourself, Renar.
Thank you. Winnar stops for a second. She puts her hand on your forearm, Garen.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "We should have dinner sometime."
Like that.
She gives a little squeeze and she walks off. The butler is straight-backed and has a very austere look to him. He speaks in precise, measured statements, and he seems to have a sharp eye as he's looking over the two of you. Winnar says that you are trustworthy.
Indeed. We worked for her, guarding the caravan to come up here, and have since then also done some additional work. Captured a brigand when they attacked the guard, brought them back, or attacked the caravan, brought them back to the guard.
Yes, she has said such. I will allow you to speak with Anders. Only on one condition.
What is that?
You do not ask about his parents. You do not bring up his mother's death.
I wasn't even aware his mother had died.
He's a young man. He has many troubles. I will not have you distracting him. Do you understand?
Understood.
Looks over to Finn, and the way that he looks at you, it's intense.
Son?
Good. Now follow me. Turns sharply on his heel, his hands folded at the small of his back. He guides you further into the home. You go up a flight of stairs, and you approach a large oak door. Gives a gentle rap of his knuckles against it. There's a soft voice from within, and he pushes the door open. You find a cozy fireplace behind a large mahogany desk. You can see that there are shelves upon shelves lining all walls of this room. It is a study. And behind the desk, seated in a cushioned chair, is a young man. He has a toothy smile. He sits up very excitedly. You can see that he's dressed very handsomely. His hair is pulled back in a ponytail, and he seems to be a slight man. Fragile almost. He wipes his hands on the pockets of his jacket, smearing visibly some ink that he had been using. He juts out a hand towards you, Finn. Hello.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Anders.
My name is Finn. Finn Carson.
Very good. Then offers the same hand to Garen. Hello.
Oh, I'm Garen Wern.
Please, please. Come in. Make yourselves comfortable. Moves around the desk, sits down. There are 2 chairs opposite of his.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Weinar highly recommends working for you, and we just completed a job to investigate a supposedly haunted house and wanted to speak with you about more work.
Oh, is that so? And as you kind of like approach the desk, you don't have to sit, but if you do, you find that they're really comfortable. You see that Garen sort of like takes a step back, and it's almost as if he is falling into shadow as he just hovers behind you. Not behind you, away from you. Just kind of moving towards a wall, getting unobtrusive and out of the way of this. And Anders is leaning forward. He is very interested. He's curious and bright-eyed as he's looking at you. Oh, please, tell me more. Yes, Weinar had mentioned that that she would be introducing me to people. It is an absolute pleasure to meet you now. Please, tell me more. And do
So,
you
yeah.
like go into all of the details, etc.?
Yeah, Garen would kind of be brief, not too detailed again, because he knows this is supposed to be somebody else's claim to their fame, but doesn't really care about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he might also mention the caravan and then him making contact with Alistair, but not go too much detail into that either.
Okay.
Wait until he asks for more.
Yeah, you see it like as you're sharing your story, he's beginning to lean on his arm and he is just engrossed. He is completely captivated by this. He looks like a boy. You can tell that he is young. He is impressionable. He is so excited about your story. And as soon as you finish, he's like, "Tell me more. What happened? What else happened when you were out on the caravan? You must have more stories."
It's unfortunate Jem wasn't able to join us. She is the storyteller, but
Oh, I'll have to meet them. You'll have to introduce me to all of your friends. You'll find that
Yes.
Saltmarsh, there's not much that goes on here. I suppose now that the king's men have come in, that yes, there are more people and more kinds of people, but it has been wonderful.
Hmm.
has been. I wish I were much better at telling stories. I might have others that I could give you. I suppose Arlen also has a lot of stories she could tell. I might bring them around next time we come to see you.
Well, This is all fantastic. I would be more than pleased to work with you. Let me see what I have. And he pulls a drawer open. He begins to rifle through some letters. You can see him kind of like putting them down, reaching for more. And he is quite unorganized as he's doing this. Seems very excited with what he's doing. You peek at the papers that he puts down.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Good thing that is efficiency.
Okay, 14.
14.
Finn, are you peeping at the papers that he's putting down? Okay, 19. Very good. Okay, so both of you can see that these are a number of different correspondences. Some of them are ledgers, deeds of different business deals. You can see that Anders seems to be involved in a lot of business. You get the sense that he is an opportunist and that he must be taking on a lot, especially with the new knowledge that something had happened to his mother, his father. He is the heir of this very obviously wealthy family. There's got to be a pretty big business. And I think it was mentioned to you, actually, by Weinar, that the Solmor family owns a fleet of fishing boats. So you can only imagine what kind of prestige and responsibility and pressure that such a family would have in a literal fishing village.
Yeah. And he's probably also filling his time with work to not think about the death of his mother.
And he puts them aside and he pulls one up. Aha! Very good. Yes. Slams it down, turns it around, shoves it towards the two of you.
Yeah,
This
Garen would reach
is-
up and take it.
This is a letter from a friend of mine. They have noticed that there's some trouble going on in a mine not too far away from Saltmarsh. They suspect that there might be undead involved.
Oh,
That's right up your alley, Finn.
that is
Oh?
right up my alley. Yes, I've I've done a lot of research over the years over the undead, necromancy, things of that nature. Things of my
Oh.
past have gotten me very interested into this subject, and my running theory right now is that there's a greater evil involved. Something that's sort of controlling everything, but I don't know for sure. I just when we went, I'm going to assume that we told them about the necromancy that was in the haunted house. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
we did.
So
The second that you say greater evil that's controlling everything, you hear a deliberate, loud clunk putting down of a cup behind you as Garen is loudly pouring liquid beverages into 2 cups. He comes up alongside you and sets them down in front of you. It appears to just be water. Then he resumes back into his shadowed place.
well, thank you. Thank you. But yes, with us
Appreciate it.
being in the haunted house, with us finding someone who was controlling,
Oh.
I sort of have a feeling that I'm sort of starting to get more. My theory's starting to become more and more correct, but I don't know for sure.
This is very good. Yes, you must absolutely investigate. I will pay you handsomely. It says here that they were willing to pay, let's see, a sum of 200. I will double it, 400 gold to you. This is very important. If there is something bigger at play here, we absolutely need to let the council know. Ah, where are my manners? Yes, I'm sure Weinar has told you, but I was recently added to the council of Saltmarsh.
I believe she did mention that to us. Yes.
Yes, I very much want to do a good job, and I think this is exactly the sort of thing I need to bring up with them.
Oh, I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, please, tapping the paper that was given to you. There is no date or deadline for this. So I'm sure if you find other things, if you happen to go that way. But I do very much hope that you will follow up on this.
Oh,
Seems very important.
I think for sure we'll get together with the group and we'll find a way to get to this for sure.
Yes, it's going to be hard to keep Finn away from this.
Yes, it's very much.
Yes. Good. Have you eaten?
Sure, by now it's probably lunchtime, right?
Yes. Garen, can you go prepare something for... And then we'll kind of like fade to black as Anders invites you to a meal and shares a meal with you. And he tells you a few like stories about like what he's been going through, how he's been very optimistic with the business, the family business has been doing very well, that the fishing has been absolutely fantastic. He's been selling his catches at a highly competitive price, offers the best prices in town, and he's making a lot of money from it. And the way that he says it and shares this is definitely not along the line of boasting. It's more like he has fallen naturally into a role of, these are my friends, and I'm speaking with my friends.
He's just telling us this is what he's doing.
Yeah, like he's
Similar
sharing
to-
so that, he's reeling you into his life and sharing, possibly oversharing. Can I get insight checks from both of you?
Certainly.
Where are you? Insight? There you are.
Okay, that's a 6 from Finn and a 5 from Garen. Okay,
Can I use my advantage for that?
absolutely.
All
Absolutely. So it'll turn your 5 into a 16. So,
Yes.
Finn, perhaps you are too engrossed in the food, in the company, you don't quite notice, but Garen, you notice that Garen, the butler, is hovering. He is definitely trying to keep out of distance and be unnoticeable, not being obtrusive. He's keeping a close eye on the two of you. You can tell that he does not trust you. And the conversation begins to dwindle, and at one point, Garen does sidle up to the desk, and he says, Master Anders. No, Master Solmor. He wouldn't call him by his first name. Master Solmor. Perhaps it is time to allow your guest's departure so you may continue your tasks. Oh, of course. Oh, it is getting a little late. Thank you. He immediately stands up, offers to take one of your hands, and shakes it with both of his. Thank you so much for being here. I really do look forward to the next time we can speak again. Perhaps you can bring your friends and we can have a whole dinner.
Oh, that'd be lovely. I think that they would appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yes.
Very good.
We know that you're very busy. We very much appreciate any little time you can give us.
Thank you. You are so kind. Take care now. Goodbye.
Yeah. And then after they've left and gotten away from the house so that not even the guards can hear him, Garen's going to be like, I do not trust that Garen. Something not right about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. From the moment we were in the office until we left, I don't know. It's almost like he doesn't want us having anything to do with Anders.
Do you think that maybe it's been sort of in the past he's brought people in and they've betrayed him, so he's sort of got a little trust, or maybe there's something deeper within that we investigate that he doesn't want us to find out about?
I can't put my finger on it. I honestly feel like it might be the latter.
Well,
but yeah, I've definitely got to do some digging.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna do some digging, and I mean, whether this is gonna step on that butler's toes or not, this is exactly where I've been wanting to lead my whole investigation.
True.
True.
I will. Meanwhile, I will see what information I can coax out of the less noticed people of the city.
Okay.
I'm surprised how much information those people can have.
You never know. Yes.
So you were told that if you're looking for people of that influence, you can find them at the Empty Net.
Yes.
I suppose that's where we'll go.
You want to
Alright.
stop by there before you head back to the Wicker Goat?
I think we would go back to the Wicker Goat, and Garen will head there in the evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll say that everyone more or less converges together at the Wicker Goat. And we'll just assume that both sides share all the information both ways.
Mhm.
Unless you want to hold something back.
No,
No,
I'm not gonna hold
Garen.
anything.
Yeah, Garen even shares his thoughts on Karen.
Scared?
Garen.
Garen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garen.
The butler.
Wow, why can't I remember that name? It's so close to Garen.
Yeah.
Garen. Yeah, he's gonna share his thoughts on Scarin. Like, not Butler. Something's not adding up with him.
You said that the guy you saw, Anders, he's a real young guy. He's real young.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I know it could be he's feeling protective, parenting. I don't know. Something just feels off with him.
Well, it sounds like we got lots of jobs to do. Which one we can do first?
Yes. Well, the mine doesn't have a deadline. It sounds like the undead are there and just not going away. So I say we handle the suspected monster heading to town, then probably head to the mine after. And sounds like Anders might have plenty of work for us.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Sounds like a plan to me. But we also do have that other ship that we might want to investigate at some point.
Yes.
But also, I think Hannah perhaps ripped us off.
What makes you say that?
So the priests of Ayuz said that the ring was worth about 200 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and correct me if I'm wrong, Stella, she said originally that it was worth like 5,000.
Yes, that is accurate.
And she had told
Oh.
us that the ring was worth about 5,000 gold. So either she misunderstood the value of her ring,
I don't think so.
she gave us a fake, or
I don't know if
something
she just gave
else.
us a fake or what, but I mean, I watched her earlier when we got our payment earlier. I watched her crunch numbers. She knows what she's doing with numbers.
Absolutely.
So
And I was planning on having another conversation with her soon.
well, I would suggest keeping the ring then until you see her again and then question her about it.
You know, if it's worth 5,000 gold to her, give it back and she can just give us 4,000 gold.
Yeah, well,
You know, I
I'll
like
come to
that.
an agreement with her. Absolutely.
Oh, I somehow don't doubt that at all.
You don't mess with experienced adventurers.
And you're the
Write
most
that in your
experienced-
book.
Or they're apprentices.
Or their apprentices. That's
yes.
right.
Oh, and I'm an apprentice. It makes jolly good. Yeah, great.
Well, I'm going to go this evening to see what information I can gather. The underbelly of a city tends to know more about what's going on than you might
Oh, yeah.
expect.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Just whether or not you can trust them to not put a knife in your back after giving you the information. I'll gauge that. The rest you can stay here. It's been a while, but I'm more experienced with those types of people.
Well, if you feel, I mean, I'm here if you want me to go with you, but if you feel more comfortable by yourself, I'm not gonna stop you.
I might go ahead and go meet with Hannah as well while you're doing that.
Okay.
Perhaps you shouldn't go alone to a seedier part of town, however, in case you run into trouble. Be bad to have you on your own.
That is true. That is true. KayBee?
You need help sneaking or disguise?
Yeah, KayBee, I was just wondering if you might be able to help me with that.
Yep.
'Cause we are also building a bit of a reputation. And
Oh, yes.
I'd rather not have that linked to that area. So if we can build a disguise
Okay.
and then get in there, that
Good
would be
idea.
good.
And think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And Finn,
Arlen,
you're coming with me to sort out this mess.
excellent. Okay, so Arlen and Finn make their way to the snapping line. You find that it is very busy. There are quite a few patrons. Every table is full. You can see that Hannah is busy moving between tables, delivering food, pouring drink. She seems to be without help. She seems to be struggling quite a bit to keeping it up. As you enter, she does not even seem to notice you.
Oh man, she seems very overrun. Doesn't
Can
she
I
have
make a check of some sort? Is her business struggling at all?
Go ahead and roll insight. The 20
Ooh.
insight. You do get the sense that it seems all right. She doesn't seem to be without means. She's definitely without help. She doesn't seem to have anybody else on staff.
Interesting.
What do you think? I mean,
We're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good with that. She does seem quite frazzled. May not be the best time to confront her about something like that while she's frazzled.
So we'll say, are you willing to wait hours?
Yes.
We'll say that a couple of hours pass. And eventually people begin to leave. A few of them are drunk as they stumble past you and out into the street. Anna seems to finally notice you. There are still patrons in the establishment, but not as many as there were. She says, "Oh, come on in. Come. There should be a table. Yes, here. Please, sit. What can I get for you?"
Well, I was wondering if we could perhaps have a little bit of a conversation.
Draws in a long sigh, looks around. It seems everyone's fine for now. She sits down. You have my attention.
So, what's this? And she kind of puts the ring on the table. And she's watching very closely to see how Hannah reacts throughout this conversation.
Okay. I'm gonna carry over your 20. So she looks at it, looks confused, looks up to you. That is my family heirloom. What do you mean?
Of course. Before you valued it, when you offered us that job at about 5,000 gold, if my memory is correct,
Yes?
we got it appraised and it's worth about 200, which is, of course, far less than what we were expecting.
Yes, and she reaches for it, she looks at it, hands it back to you. It is my ring. I was told it was worth 5,000
By who?
by my brother.
And where is your brother?
He's an adventurer. He has not been home in many years. I suppose he might be dead. He doesn't write.
Well, as unfortunate as this is, we are at a bit of an impasse because we were promised something of 5,000 gold and
Well, she draws in a long sigh. I don't know what to tell you. I obviously can't even hire anyone to help me. The business is fine. The claw wine is not moving as well as it was. I can't pay you 5,000 gold. This is the best I can give you.
A 200 gold ring is the best that you can give us.
I suppose that when I'm on the council, I can owe you a favor. How does that sound?
Hmm.
Having friends in high places is invaluable, I would think.
It's going to have to be a pretty big favor.
Well, in a place like this, I'm sure you'll come up with something worth the value that you were not given. I apologize. And with the 20 insight, you do get the sense that she is sincere.
I was just gonna ask to check that, but yeah. Well, suppose we're at a dead end regardless of, for now anyway.
Very well. A very big favor from the very important person. At hopefully a very soon time.
And she begins to laugh a little. The only other thing I can think of is if I give you the snapping line, but I can't do that. This is my lifeblood. This is my legacy.
No, we aren't planning on staying in Saltmarsh for the
no.
rest of our lives, so an inn doesn't do us much good.
Good. I'm glad.
You keep your lifeblood. We'll just come for something later on. And Arlen will stand up.
So Hannah will also stand up and she holds her hand out.
And Arlen will shake it.
I do indeed keep it my very intention to uphold what was promised.
It's good to hear.
You are always welcome to come here and have a drink. Have some food. No, we'll put it on the house.
I'll be coming back for more of that wine then. And Arlen will leave.
And Finn will follow behind.
And the camera fades to black. And it refocuses on a darker, quieter part of Saltmarsh. Follows the road opposite of the bay. And there, you find a number of people leaning up against various ramshackle homes and buildings. You can see sea salt baked into the sides of them, staining the wood, staining the ground. You find a rather humble establishment. The empty net. Is there anything that you want to do to prepare coming here?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe we had talked about doing some disguises.
At the very least, the disguise for Garen, since he's going to be moving and talking. So I think we talk about his disguise, and he'll tell us how he would want to look, and I'll help him with that with the use of a spell. But also, I'm going to give him the blessing of the Fleet Foot Fae, and I'm going to bless him with a spell to make him move faster in case he has to run, and that'll be the Long Strider spell. So I burn a spell slot, and I cast that magic on him, probably in some quiet corner away from prying eyes of others. I pick up a pinch of dirt and I rub it with my hands. There's some sparkles there, and then I just kind of wave it around his body, and he feels his feet tingle as he's accelerated. His feet move quicker with the Long Strider.
Okay.
And then the disguise for Garen looks like.
I'd say it probably doesn't look too dissimilar from how he looks now. Probably long hair instead of the short cropped hair, and a beard or long beard instead of the short one that he normally has.
Mhm.
Something simple, that way it's not too taxing and easier for him to actually, negotiate with people,
Okay.
where he doesn't look too offsetting.
So are you
Um,
bringing your weapons when you head in this direction? Would you leave them behind?
He would keep his weapons,
Okay. So you
or at
approach.
least his short sword.
Okay.
And then I'm going to follow him at a distance with my hood up and just try to be chill, low key. And then if he needs help, I'll be there.
Okay. So you approach a partially supported by stilts building. Seems to be driven into the harbor waters. It extends out beyond the coastline. It's a rickety tavern. And you see that there is a number of people within. It is quite hushed. They are gathered around, sitting on barrels, crowded around small tables. You can see that most of the people here are hooded as well. As you approach, a few of them cast an eye towards your way. You can tell that they are scrutinizing you. You can see that there is someone behind the bar that appears to be human. Find that there is a very large bouncer that stays by the door once you step inside. And you can see that the tavern opens up towards the back, and there's a railing along the deck there. It is open to the sea air. So some outdoor seating.
Oh, sir.
Are you talking to the tender?
To the bartender.
Okay. Hello. My name is Kreb Shanker.
Fred.
What can I do for you?
Well, could use a drink. I'm new to the town. Trying to make contact with some like-minded individuals.
5 copper. Holds out a hand.
All right. Oh, Garen doesn't have any copper. He hands him a gold.
As you pass over the gold piece, everyone at the bar is looking at you. Kreb takes a bite out of it, seems satisfied, puts it away, and puts a mug in front of you.
Mm. Yeah. Don't expect too much of that. Just happened upon it and
All right.
gotta make use of it.
I'm not going to ask any questions.
All right.
What are you looking for?
Well, even in a new place, it's a good idea to be able to keep your face from being known. I know some people might know how to acquire a disguise kit.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
And, it's always wise to also press any advantage you've got, even make one. Do you know of any way to acquire a poison kit?
You can see like a wicked grin across his face. Absolutely. You've come to the right place.
Good.
It's going to take some time to get the right substances.
Naturally. I do have the skills to acquire some myself, so it doesn't need to be perfect.
Oh, it won't be perfect, but it'll get the job done.
Then that means it will be perfect.
I suppose so. He gives another sharp wolfish grin. You can see that he's missing a few teeth. Says, come back tomorrow and I'll have what you want.
All right. I'll be back by tomorrow.
Bring 100 gold.
I'll see what I can make happen.
He just gives you a nod and he moves away. Not
Alright.
giving you like your change or anything like that.
naturally. All right. Garen leaves. 1 gold piece less. And heads back to the inn.
Okay. KayBee, roll me perception at advantage. 18. Okay. Especially because you're literally watching. As Garen leaves out of the empty net, you hesitate, watching. You can see that there are a few people following. Seems to be 2 hooded individuals, keeping an even pace behind Garen.
Are they bigger than Garen? Can he take them?
They seem to be about Garen's size.
Uh-oh.
So we'll say that Garen's like walking up towards you, and you can see behind Garen.
Okay. Can I tell from their posture, their movement, do they seem to be hiding weapons under their cloaks? Are they sneaking? I mean, do I sense a threat?
It's hard to tell. They are definitely being very casual. But they seem experienced. They are absolutely tailing Garen. But they aren't brandishing weapons. They have their hands tucked into their pockets. When Garen happens to stop, they hover and wait. Moving off to the side, looking inconspicuous.
Okay. So if I gauge I've got the opportunity, I'm going to consider casting a spell on them.
Okay.
However, I would want to ensure that I just get them, not Garen.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's quite a bit of ways of a walk, and it is dark now, so the streets are mostly empty. There's a few people here and there, but we'll say that there's a certain stretch of alley where Garen is out of range, and you find an opportunity. You can cast something on them.
Yeah, I'm going to cast a spell on them. So, covered in my cloak, peeking around from behind a post or something, I waggle my fingers, and there's sparkles there that appear on my fingertips as a cloud of golden dust settles around them, fairy fire. It settles around them and causes them to glow and stand out.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. As soon as this spell goes off and they are very vibrantly illuminated, they seem to kind of freak out, not expecting it. And you see them both rushing away, running at full sprint in the direction that they had come from.
Yep, that's good.
Does
That's
Garen,
what we wanted.
Yep. Does Garen notice this?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 2 people suddenly lighting up behind him would catch his attention.
Mm-hmm.
He'd turn and watch them and wait. All right, KayBee. Good job.
Hey, let's
Keep
go.
walking.
So the entire party converges together at the top floor of the Wicker Goat.
How'd it go?
Did you find anything?
I've made contact. I'm not going to get any information right away from them, but they're definitely people that we can go to for anything we might need, but definitely got to be very careful about it. Good thing KayBee was there to watch my back.
Okay.
And that's good.
That's good.
Seems Hannah was told incorrectly about the ring by her brother, who's an adventurer.
Yeah.
and whose whereabouts are presently unknown. But we have struck a deal that once she is a member of the council, she will owe us a rather large favor. So,
And then
something to have in our back pocket for now.
something to put in our back pocket, and then between what that happened and then what happened between me and Garen, that's two people that are going to talk about us, the council,
It's
possibly
true.
around the same time. I can't
do
really
have-
say a bad about that.
Yeah.
But
At the
We
same
do also-
time, KayBee and I have the priests of IU searching for some magical items for us. And
oh,
because we're out 5,000 gold, we need to find some jobs that will pay us some money so that we'll be able to afford those when they come in.
Well, I will remind you that we are being offered this. Mine is offering 200 gold. Anders is offered to double that for us. And Alistair has offered to pay us equal amount for anything Anders pays us for working with him.
Very
So we do
well.
have a-
That sounds like a good plan.
We do have a good payday coming, but we need to
Yeah.
move on it. So
Well,
seems
we
to,
can head out tomorrow and try
Yeah.
to meet whatever danger is approaching.
yeah, I was going to say.
Deal
Yeah.
with that.
Thing I have is, we could get something.
Yes. And getting into the good graces of the underworld is not cheap, so I also would like to
No.
get some money.
Yeah.
All right. So the group of you are going to wind down for the night. That is one night down.
If possible, could I have a conversation with Charybdis?
Yeah, absolutely. So as everyone begins to disperse, you can see that Quick is doing much better, and Quick seems very pleased to stay just in the private lobby upstairs. You are actually, as a group, approached by Lankus Currid, the owner of the Wicker Goat. He just very frankly approaches you and says, "Look, Jem played great music. It was fantastic. The people loved it. But I'm going to have to start charging you if you're going to keep taking the upper floor of the suite here at the Wicker Goat. We'll talk about it in the morning, but please enjoy the rest of your night. And know that while it's a pleasure to have you, my hospitality does have to turn to business."
Of course.
Understandable.
All right. Good night. And, Arlen, when you're in the privacy of your room, you assume the same pose, holding this red blood blade. What do you say?
Hey, Charybdis. You mentioned your past apprentices, disciples, whatever word you so choose. And that you would send them to come and meet with me. We've heard about perhaps 3 people that are potentially dangerous heading towards Saltmarsh. Just wanted to be sure that that wasn't you before we go out to deal with them tomorrow.
No. You will meet a single agent, and you will know with your very bones when you are in the presence of another apprentice of mine.
Oh, well, very well. That sounds good. Do you happen to know when I might meet them?
Soon. Very soon. But I thirst. We must seek out what it is that you feel coming. We must feed. You must feed me.
Of course. Well, if trouble arises with these three, as I suspect it will, then you'll be fed.
Good. Very good. In the name of glory.
Of course. Well, good night.
Telling your evil sword goodnight. It says, sleep well, Arlen Ruvelaf.
And she just kind of sets it down comfortably. The sword doesn't creep her out at all, and she trusts
Do you,
it
like,
implicitly.
You put like a little pillow down in front of the fireplace.
Put a pillow and like a little blankie.
Thank you.
Then I go to bed.
Do we cuddle the evil sword? I mean, that is possible, but Arlen needs to get a scabbard first.
Yeah. I imagine this would be a hard thing to get a scabbard for.
Yeah, it's a very unusual shape. You'd have to get it custom made. Okay.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to do?
Probably Finn will probably just go to his room and kind of look over in his bed, kind of look over all of the things that were sort of discussed, the paperwork that he has to sort of, hopefully find this great evil, and saw how excited he was, and he's kind of got a little excited knowing that, while he might be young, still, this might still be a powerful ally, and if he's that excited about it, maybe there is something to all of this.
Okay.
And with obviously the money that's coming for him as well, he's just like, there's got to be something here.
Okay. Cool. Garen?
Yeah, I'd say Garen's probably a little nervous because he's got to come up with a couple hundred gold now, or 100 gold. But yeah, he's probably just gonna get himself to bed and call it a night.
KayBee.
So since they arrived at Saltmarsh, KayBee continues to make these little wooden statues, little wooden toys. Some of them walk in a circle. They're little machines. And over the last couple of days, they've slowly been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now as the twilight fades, and he has this almost big enough for him to sit on, this animal made out of wood and metal. And it kind of looks like a little deer. It's getting bigger.
Okay. Cool. That's kind of ominous.
Right?
Finn, can I get a perception check from you at disadvantage?
Perception at disadvantage.
A 4.
Or,
Okay.
First good roll.
Finn, you are laying in bed. You are about to fall asleep. You hear scratching at your window. Perk up, you look over. See a small shadow. Maybe it's a cat. On the other side. But it scurries away.
Oh. Would it still be raining at this point?
Yes.
Oh. Maybe it was trying to find its way inside. There might have been a cat or something. It's still raining pretty well out there. Oh. And I guess Finn will sort of kind of get up and he'll kind of look out the window.
Okay.
See if maybe he can.
Try to look out the window. You see the rest of Saltmarsh in the distance. It's hard to see anything else. It's dark and it's raining pretty heavily.
Even
And it
with
seems to be locked on your side.
Okay. Would my dark vision give me anything?
It doesn't really give you anything else.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll just. Okay. I guess. Well, wherever that cat is, it's long gone, and. I guess I'll just go back to bed.
You go back to sleep, and you fall asleep. The camera sort of begins to creep in between a crack between the boards, and it hovers right outside of Finn's window. We see a small shadow slowly creep back into view as an imp peers inside, takes note of Finn's room, and disappears in a puff of smoke. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Oh boy!
Thank you so much, everyone, for
Oh.
being here. Thank you so much for the raids, everyone. The continued support. Y'all are heckin' amazing. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session. I'm going to go ahead and go around and let you know who we were playing with, where you can find them, and please tell us what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we're going to go ahead and start with Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob. I am Zombie. I am Z. You can follow me on twitter.com/zombiefighter89, where I mostly just retweet a bunch of stuff that everybody here says. Occasionally put in my stuff. I do occasionally stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/zombiefighter89. Recently I did the birthday stream with some Kirby stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to get back into some more Tekken stuff at some point down the road, depending on how this computer is going to act with me. You know, if you have a Twitch channel I follow and you have a clip channel in your Discord, mute it, because I'll make sure you do if you don't. Favorite part for tonight would on for at least my end would be getting all of that information about the undead, about like, okay, there has been a thing going on here. I have a paper for this. Here you go. Here's a thing that I've been, I want you to investigate this. Oh my gosh. And I think that was sort of really fun as far as Finn's character goes. And then one other, I guess, moment I could say was towards the end when Arlen's just kind of like, oh, here's a pillow for my sword. Here you go, sword. Just being all lovey-dovey with the sword.
Thank you.
The nice sword. It deserves to be taken care of.
Oh yeah, such
Yeah.
a nice sword.
Of course. Nisa unfortunately could not join us today, but you can check her out over on Twitter at Nisa Vibes. There's the link there in chat.
Hey, she's really, really awesome. Definitely deserves the follow. And if you're into Final Fantasy 14 stuff, perfect place for you to go. She loves that stuff.
Absolutely.
100%.
Next we have Godfather Wraith.
Hi, I'm Godfather Wraith. Yeah, I really don't have much social media presence, so you can pretty much just find me here in Stella's chat or a few other streamers around the community. My favorite part, honestly, meeting Anders. This whole time it's been like this important person that's really special, and then I find out he's almost like an adolescent level of excitement over so simple things, and it was just fun to meet him. He was a really interesting character. I liked him.
I really like Anders. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Next we've got GeekDice.
Hey, I'm GeekDice. Not only can you find me here, you can find me over at Greyhawk Tales on Sundays, another Greyhawk game. And again, I'm playing KayBee, a little Fenadiri Fae little guy. I say that today what I really enjoyed about the session was the seriousness of Erilyn. She continues to call us her apprentices with a straight face, and I really get a kick out of that. More so when she was confronting Hannah about the value of the ring, the look in her eye, and the tone of her voice. It was borderline scary. So
She was serious.
yeah, I think honestly, Erilyn is a great leader for our group. KayBee seconds that vote, his own vote, 2 votes. Great job.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, the amazing Emma Panada.
Hi, I'm Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I just started streaming TTRPG stuff on my Twitch last month, and we're getting some more games going here pretty soon because I didn't want to overwhelm Stella by me constantly GMing one-shots and stuff on her channel. So
I mean, you don't ever have to stop. You're amazing, and every second of you that I can have is a blessing.
absolutely. I'll just keep DMing marathons. It's fine. But yeah, so we have a Curse of Strahd game going on there on Tuesdays. We have a Kids on Bikes game where episode 1 is this Sunday at 8 Eastern. And then we're starting up an Avatar The Last Airbender campaign later this month that I'm currently recruiting players for. So if you're interested in playing in that, just reach out, let me know. You can at me on Twitter or DM me or find me in Stella's Discord. But that's me. My favorite part tonight, I really enjoyed all of our conversations trying to figure out what to do with the prisoner. Like there were some like fun parts in there, but I think there are all these like moral kind of quandaries in D&D that you'll come across as a group, and this was just kind of like one of the first ones that really stuck in my mind, where we were all talking about like what to do with this prisoner. And I don't think any of us were wrong, like in our opinions of what we think we should do. But just kind of like being at that crossroads and like talking through it and trying to figure it out. I just really enjoyed that. And I thought it was good.
Awesome. I'm glad you like that, because I really love like morally ambiguous, like difficult decisions. I like throwing that at my players. Like
Love it.
there was like no wrong answer there, right? Like it's a criminal, right? But what do you do with a criminal? Yeah.
You
Sorry.
apparently give him porn poetry to publish under a false name.
And then
Yep.
send them to church.
Then send him to church
Yeah.
to repent.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm Stella Luna. Thank you so much for being here. If you've enjoyed the content, please give us a follow. That's a free way that you can support what we do, encourage us to make more of this content. This has been Secrets of Saltmarsh. We play every other Wednesday starting at 8/8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to get into contact with us and play more games with us, check out our marathons, and you can do so by hopping into our Discord. You can find the link for that there in the chat. We run a number of different marathons and games here. We're always looking for new players. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to D&D, brand new to TTRPGs. We are a learning community. We want to teach you what it's like to play behind the other side of the screen, and we'll teach you everything that you need to know.
Do we happen to have any marathons in the works currently, Stella?
So I have to get back to you right now, because I do have one planned for this month, maybe next month, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I've been trying to chase down a few indie creators to run their own games. One person has gotten back to me, and I still need to follow up with a few people. But in the future, we are absolutely going to be running an Avatar The Last Airbender marathon.
Hype.
Hype. So if you're... Go ahead.
I will say, as someone who was sort of, my introduction to D&D was Pathfinder. So as someone who went from Pathfinder to 5e through this channel, Stella is absolutely the person to help you out with all of this stuff. Everyone here in the community as well is very helpful. We want to bring in new people. We want to teach people to learn these stuff. And if it wasn't for these monthly marathons and someone going, let's give Zombie a shot, I wouldn't be enjoying this D&D as much. And you can have that chance anytime we do a marathon. And yeah.
Yeah,
I throw that out there.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the kind words. I think it's a pretty great way to get started, especially if you've never done something like this before, because it's no pressure. It's a one shot. You don't have to commit to like a long thing. And if you decide you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. If you decide you love it, you can sign up for more, and you can run your own games. We do pay our game masters here, so if you do ever want to run a game, just let us know, and we'll get you an opportunity to do so. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. If you want to
Mhm.
find more of me, I am on Twitter. That's the link there. And you can also find me here. I'll be back tomorrow to do some D&D prep. I am preparing a 1E, 2E conversion into 5E for virtual Greyhawk Con. That's going to be in October. But I will also be back on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for some more Unbound. That is my original campaign featuring adventures from Uncaged Anthology, where we all play a bunch of demigods and they are thirsty and they're just basically trying to find a bunch of girlfriends. It's pretty much it. Yeah.
No
That's
one
the
will
plot.
That's the
no
plot.
One will, no one will ever
Yeah,
convince
love
me
it.
any different. This is not overhype. It is the best show you will watch on a Friday night.
Aw,
If you are doing nothing on
thanks.
Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, watch this. It's
Aw.
awesome. The cast of players, they're in their second season, and I believe, if I remember right, Stella, all of season 1 is on your fancy little YouTube that you have now.
Yes, thank you. I always forget. Yeah, there's
No,
our
it's-
link.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to catch up on some of it, it'd be awesome too. But it's one of the best chemistries I've ever seen within a group ever. It's so fun. It's you will not regret it. Come watch.
Thank
I definitely
you.
will be there.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
love Unbound.
Mhm.
I second Zombie. I love Unbound. It's amazing.
I'm getting hot now. I'm getting flashes. Oh god. All right, we're gonna end the stream now. Please join me in this raid. We're gonna go raid over to Praetor's Rejects. They are playing some more D&D over there. Actually, let me double check that they're still live and not ending. It looks like they're still up. Okay. Please join me in the raid. Thank you so much for being here. Love all you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.